Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue on reading the book of Esther, and it's going to be Esther 7:8. So let's get started. Life Lesson Esther 7:1 through 8:17. Haman is hanged. So the King Haman went in to eat with Queen Esther. As they were drinking wine on the second day, the king asked Esther again, "What are you asking for? I will give it to you. What is it you want? I will give you as much as half of my kingdom." Then Queen Esther answered, "My king, if you are pleased with me, and if it pleases you, let me live. This is what I ask, and let my people live too. This is what I want. My people and I have been sold to be destroyed, to be killed and completely wiped out. If we had been sold as male and female slaves, I would have kept quiet, because that would not be enough of a problem to bother the king." Then King Xerxes asked Queen Esther, "Who is he, and where is he, who has done such a thing?" Esther said, "Our enemy and foe is this wicked Haman." Then Haman was filled with terror before the king and queen. The king was very angry, so he got up and left his wine and went out into the palace garden. But Haman stayed inside to beg Queen Esther to save his life. He could see that the king had already decided to kill him. When the king returned from the palace garden to the banquet hall, he saw Haman falling on the couch where Esther was lying. The king said, "Will he even attack the queen while I'm in the house?" As soon as the king said that, servants came in and covered Haman's face. Harbona, one of the eunuchs there serving the king, said, "Look, a 75-foot platform stands near Haman's house. This is the one Haman had prepared for Mordecai, who gave the warning that saved the king." The king said, "Hang Haman on it." So they hanged Haman on the platform he had prepared for Mordecai. Then the king was not so angry anymore. The king helps the Jewish people. That same day, King Xerxes gave Queen Esther everything Haman, the enemy of the Jewish people, had left when he died. And Mordecai came in to see the king, because Esther had told the king how he was related to her. Then the king took off his signet ring that he had taken back from Haman, and he gave it to Mordecai. Esther put Mordecai in charge of everything Haman left when he died. Once again, Esther spoke to the king. She fell at the king's feet and cried and begged him to stop the evil plan that Haman the Agagite had planned against the Jews. The king held out the gold scepter to Esther, so Esther got up and stood in front of him. She said, "My king, if you are pleased with me, and if it pleases you to do this, if you think it is the right thing to do, and if you are happy with me, let an order be written to cancel the letters Haman wrote. Haman the Agagite sent messages to destroy all the Jewish people in all of your kingdom. I could not stand to see that terrible thing happen to my people. I could not stand to see my family killed." "King Xerxes," answered Queen Esther and Mordecai the Jew, "because Haman was against the Jewish people, I have given his things to Esther, and my soldiers have hanged him. Now, in the king's name, write another order to the Jewish people as it seems best to you. Then seal the order with the king's signet ring, because no letter written in the king's name and sealed with his signet ring can be cancelled." At the time, the king's secretaries were called. This was the 23rd day of the 3rd month, which is Sivan. The secretaries wrote out all of Mordecai's orders to the Jews, to the governors, to the captain of the soldiers in each state, and to the important men of the 127 states that reach from India to Kush. They wrote it in writings of each state and in the language of each people. They also wrote to the Jewish people in their own writing and language. Mordecai wrote orders in the name of King Xerxes and sealed the letters with the king's signet ring. Then he sent the king's orders by messenger on fast horses, horses that were raised just for the king. These were the king's orders. The Jewish people in every city have the right to gather together to protect themselves. They may destroy, kill, and completely wipe out the army of any state of people who attack them, and they are to do the same to the women and children of that army. They may also take by force the property of their enemies. The one day set for the Jewish people to do this in all the empire of King Xerxes was the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar. A copy of the king's orders was sent out as the law in every state. It was to be made known to the people of every nation living in the kingdom so that Jewish people would be ready on the set day to strike back at their enemies. The messengers hurried out, riding on the royal horses, because the king commanded those messengers to hurry. And the order was also given in the palace at Susa. Mordecai left the king's presence wearing royal clothes of blue and white and a large gold crown. He also had a purple robe made of the best linen. And the people of Susa shouted for joy. It was a time of happiness, joy, gladness, and honor for the Jewish people. As the king's orders went to every state and city, there was joy and gladness among the Jewish people. In every state and city to which the king's orders went, they were having feasts and celebrating. And many people through all the empire became Jews because they were afraid of the Jewish people. Life lesson. Esther 7:1 through 8:17. Situation. Esther asked that her people be allowed to live. King Xerxes granted her request and had Haman hanged. The Jews were rescued. Observation. God used individual people and governments to enact his will. Inspiration. If you find yourself dealing with people who are not playing by the Bible rules, who are underhanded, deceptive, dishonest, and self-serving, can you learn to see the advantage you have over them? In refusing to use their tactics and choosing to abide by biblical principles, you are under God's protection, and He has promised to honor you and to prosper you. A few years ago, while in the process of purchasing a newly built home, I found myself engaged in a conflict with one of the employees of the building firm. She was arrogant, rude, and terribly disrespectful to me. The customer, I responded as I knew a business person should. I was assertive, refused to talk to her, went to a higher authority, and demanded my rights. Instead of raising my voice and demanding my rights, I could have been just as assertive by calmly repeating my concerns, refusing to allow the conversation to deteriorate to that low level. I could have been kind and polite. I could have stopped and quickly prayed for the woman. I could have thought about what bitterness and anger there was inside her to cause her to behave that way she did, and allow God to give me compassion for her. I could have done all that, but I missed the opportunity because I was too concerned with the way she was treating me. I'm not suggesting we become doormats, but when we can control our reactions and respond in a Christ-like manner, we actually have the advantage over the other person. When we take the world's way out, we often lose our Christian advantage, not to mention our testimony for Christ. When our business dealings are guided by biblical principles, it gives us a great advantage in the marketplace, because God created the marketplace and He knows what works. From Workday Meditations by Mary Welchel. Application. Don't get so busy securing your rights or accomplishing your agenda that you miss the opportunity to serve. Look up from your responsibilities and find an opportunity to reach out. When I am fronted with a situation like that, someone that treats me bad or says something mean, I don't know if it's my calm personality or if it's just me being scared of confronting someone. I feel like in my life I haven't experienced too many nasty people, I guess, in my life that has affected me. There's nasty people everywhere. But generally, I want to say I'm good with separating, and if someone's mean to me at a grocery store or even through texts, even through, even through comments on my channels, on YouTube video channels, people could be mean. People could be mean. I almost laugh at that. I have to say, I sometimes laugh. I hardly, like, if I know that person doesn't know me, then I don't need to take it personal. I don't find the need to show myself that I'm stronger or better, or I'm confident that that person doesn't really know me, or if they're acting up, or if they're doing something that they're supposed to, or if they're just being really, really mean, I realize that there's something going on. There's something else going on. And the problem is not me. The problem is something else. So I have to be, I have to say I'm blessed when it comes to that. Granted, my life is not all peaches and roses. Yes, there's situations that can be very difficult for me to get through. I mean, just like anybody else. I try to pray about those times where I don't know what to do, or I feel like at a dead end. And we do get stuck in that kind of at a dead end, and feel like, why am I here? Why is this happening to me? What? That person shouldn't talk to me like that, or I didn't do anything to them, or why are they doing this, and why are they being mean? You can get so worked up on that, and that could affect you. I pray that you guys, I'm sure whatever situation that you're going through, that God would open up your heart and purify your heart, purify your mind. God is happy with those that are living in His way, and it all starts in your mind. Back in church this past weekend, the pastor was talking about purifying and doing a little exercise of purifying your mind, and you pray and you go, God, purify my mind. May I have good thoughts. May I have positive thoughts. That filter all those negative things, all those bad things, all those sinful things that are in my head. Purify that and make it so it's pleasing to you. And then he went into his heart. Lord, bless my heart. Bless, clean my heart. Show me things that I need to work on. Show me things that if I need to be nicer to people or specific people, show me what I need to do in order to have a purified heart. And then a purified body. You go, Lord, help me have a purified body. Help me do the right things. Take the right actions when I need to help people, when I need to stop what I'm doing, and just be able to have that discernment of knowing what to do. Purify my whole body. And in Jesus' name, amen. And that's something that you want. It would be good to do. I started doing that and I feel good. It's actually a good thing to do in the morning. And it's just like a little reminder of that connection that you have with God and be able to say, hey, God, this is what I'm trying. I'm working on it. I really am. So thanks, guys, for watching this video. Please pray for my little island, Puerto Rico. Also the Virgin Islands. There's been so much destruction everywhere. This week was a little crazy because we, after Maria went through Puerto Rico, we didn't have any contact with my dad. My dad and his family are over there, and there was no way to communicate. All the towers were down. Everything is down. Just seeing the pictures of what's happened over there is just so sad. I was born in that island, and I lived in that island for like 8 years, and it's something special. It's a very special place, and every time we go back to visit, it's got a connection, something about the island. And same thing goes with St. John's. I visited St. John's once with a friend, and it was beautiful, beautiful. And you have that same feeling, that kind of magnetism of being proud of where you're at and the people, and it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling. But I just pray for all those people that haven't heard from their families, for God to give them peace, for give them, strength. For those people that are suffering right now, that are running out of water, they have no air conditioning. They barely can have enough gas. The gas is running out. They're running from towers to towers in order to connect and make phone calls with their families. So I can even imagine what they are going through. My dad's roof just pretty much flew off, and everything got wet, everything got ruined. It's just the cleaning. But I also can imagine, because they're getting to the whole island little by little, so you can't really move, you can't really drive too far, because there's branches, there's things on the side in the middle of the road. So anyways, I pray for Puerto Rico, for everybody in there, for families that are over here. We just pray that God can protect them and draw them in, and just give them that peace and hopeful feeling that one day things will get better. So thanks again for watching. I love you guys. Thanks again for leaving me comments and leaving me suggestions. I always like to hear from you guys. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.